the best minds in wrestling today, and you damn well know it by now.
We know more than Google, always have, always will.
New show, bigger, better, badder, brother.
Twice as famous, twice as rich.
2.0, here we go.
Start the damn show already.
What's up, everybody? It's me. It's the JATBB. As always, I'm here with my co-host,
Superstar James Starring, the guy that makes the ladies scream until they cream.
the legendary Creamin', aka Jamie Jam Garvin. And I started saying that. I wonder how many people get that reference.
I don't know. Nobody probably.
But if they don't, I'm talking about old Jimmy Jam Garvin from the Freebirds. Maybe I'll put a picture up, but Jamie looks identical.
Yep.
Especially in one picture.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we're back. We episode 5, right? And it's
already been that many.
Yeah, and I already lost how to do it. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I guess we'll stick with routine. What kind of beer are we drinking tonight?
What kind of beer do I have open right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a cranberry peach sour.
My God.
It's a
Who makes that? Ocean Spray?
No, it's a brewery called New Image. I think I talked about them in an earlier episode. It is a kombucha sour. I know it sounds hippy dippy, but it's pretty good beer if you like sour stuff. If you like Warheads and goddamn Sour Patch Kids, you'll like it.
Yeah, kombucha. I hardly know her.
What kind of beer are you drinking, Buck?
I'm actually drinking a purified water because I started a diet. Isn't the right word, but eating clean for a little while. So I actually started a 7-day cleanse today.
Wow.
So cleansing the toxins out of my body. I was in Austin, Texas all weekend getting hammered. So I'm just cleansing the toxins out of my body and start eating a little healthier. Get that beach body ready.
Yeah, getting the beach body ready by doing a cleanse, huh? And you call me a hippie? You call me a hipster and a hippie and all that shit?
Yeah, I call you whatever I goddamn please. But I mean, really, I work out like a motherfucker. We all know that. But
yeah,
I still got a little meat on the bones, so I'm gonna try to get rid of that. That way, I'm not chubby. I know you went a different route.
Yeah, I do yoga. I'm so flexible right now. It's crazy.
And the women must love that.
Oh yeah, I can bend all around them.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I'd like to see you do some DDP yoga.
Yeah, I kill it.
When's the last time you did DDP yoga?
This morning.
Doubt it. Oh, you know what I did want to talk about? Tell everybody, we had a conversation earlier. Tell everybody what concert you're going to.
What now?
What concert you're going to go to?
I got free DMX tickets.
DMX tickets.
He's out of jail, I guess. I don't know. I mean, why would you not go see DMX for free?
Could you imagine going to see DMX in 2019?
Yeah, it's got to be hilarious.
Have you seen any recent pictures or videos of him?
No, I have no idea. I haven't seen a DMX since It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Or maybe Flesh of My Flesh and Blood of My Blood. So I haven't seen him since the 90s.
I've seen a picture of him. He's in what we call rough shape.
Well, I mean, what other shape is he supposed to be in when he's a rough rider?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I'm talking about rough, ROUGH, not RUFF.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be hilarious. Nonetheless, 100% worth it for a free show.
Yeah, I hope you have fun. Since I can't crack beer, so we smash water bottles instead. I guess we should get into our wrestling conversation.
Yeah.
Got some news to talk about this week. A couple things going on, so we'll just get right to it. The number one story. Okay, so I said number one news story, but I don't mean number one like the greatest news story of the week. I meant number one like the first thing we're going to talk about
Yeah.
because we are going to start with. Ooh, that was a hell of a burp.
It was.
Which is a good segue into the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. Which
Yay. Elimination Chamber.
yeah, so I didn't watch it. I don't watch WWE events anymore. It's just a new rule I have. I only watch segments or matches that I hear about afterwards. I don't have 3 hours on a Monday to waste. I don't have 8 hours on a Sunday to waste. Which I heard that the Elimination Chamber was shorter. So
Yeah, it was much shorter. I slept through most of it. I kept watching it in my sleep, so I know all about it.
yeah, well, we don't watch it, but obviously we do our research and read up on it because we're both avid readers. You're known more for reading than I am, but
I'm very well read.
yeah. So but yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. I know Daniel Bryan won the Elimination Chamber, of course, but I think the big story of that was Kofi Kingston. I heard they had a really good when it was just down to those two. It was really good, and then
It was a good. I mean, they did well. Kofi did a good job in the chamber.
Yeah, the crowd was really into him, right?
Yeah, when he got pinned, the place went silent.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a reaction to Kofi or a reaction to like they know, like sometimes wrestling fans are assholes and they know he wasn't supposed to be in it, so they cheer for him because they just want to be dicks. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they just pushed. They put Kofi in it for Spot Fest, and then he did well enough. I mean, when Daniel Bryan was holding up the title, the camera didn't even really show him. They showed like Big E and them carrying Kofi off, like holding his hand up and shit.
Yeah, maybe Kofi will get a push out of it.
I mean, it'd be something different. That'd be everybody's pushing right now for a Kofi Bryan at Mania title match.
Oh, I don't know about Mania. Fastlane, they still have Fastlane.
They do, but everybody's been pushing for the Mania match. Maybe something can set up at Fastlane. I don't know.
Shoot, I don't know how I feel
Fastlane
about
is a
that.
god awful pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, I can imagine watching Fastlane. If WWE was good, I couldn't imagine watching Fastlane.
I never watched Fastlane when it was good 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
they should cut that out and just build to WrestleMania for 2 months.
That's the way it used to be. Like you have Rumble in January and then WrestleMania in April. Like you built the whole way up and it was good. Like you developed your storylines coming out of Rumble and on the next couple shows, TV shows, and then you just build that line, and then that's the huge buildup of WrestleMania. Now it's like things just change. You have no idea what's going on. You might as well just not even tune in until the week before.
Yeah, they don't build shit anymore.
No, they definitely don't
Terrible.
build like I used to build.
Hell no, not like you used to build. You built for years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so not bad, right? Not bad overall. The women's chamber I also heard was number one, I heard it was way too long. Number two, I heard that the ending wasn't bad.
I don't know. I never made it through it.
Yeah.
I heard the ending wasn't bad at all. I just kept falling asleep.
I mean, so Bailey and Sasha won, which
yeah,
good for them. I love how they're talking about how they're the first ever women's tag team champions, which isn't true because they had women's tag team titles in the '80s.
Yeah,
but oversight. But
well, maybe it's because women weren't. Now women are equal or they're worth more than men. I'm not real sure, but women are different now than they were in the 80s. So
Well, they should just have gender neutral titles then.
that's what I think we should go to, gender neutral titles, because
Yeah, I was just in Austin, Texas. They had gender neutral everything.
yeah,
There's no men's and women's bathrooms.
no, it's the city code. I mean, the city of Denver worries more about voting on what we need to put uh, gender neutral bathroom signs up than they do paving the streets, or I mean, paving the roads, making good roads, and plowing the roads and keeping it safe for its citizens.
Yeah, but I don't care. If someone wants to piss and shit where I piss and shit, I don't care whether you do it sitting or standing.
I don't give a damn as long as you don't get seat, or as
Yeah.
long as you flush. You could shit wherever. I don't care. I don't care how you. I don't care if you shit out of your dick. I don't care what you do.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the women's chambers. Speaking of shit out of your dick.
That's what happens when you start talking about women's matches.
Yeah, that's a good segue. Shitting out of your dick. Now, again, I didn't watch it, but I can imagine there's a million botches. And I was thinking about that because I feel like people think I'm hard on women wrestling for some reason, but again, I'm not. Some of the girls are good. Sasha and Bailey are really good.
Yeah, they're great. Charlotte's good.
Charlotte's good. Becky's good. Bliss is good. There's a bunch. Asuka. I mean,
Ruby Riot's good.
Yeah, I like Ruby Riot. Do you want to tell people your thoughts on Ruby Riot publicly?
I said she would be an interesting fuck.
Yeah, there you go. And so I just got totally distracted with that. But so there are good wrestlers, but a couple of years ago when they wanted to do the Women's Royal Rumble and they called all these girls up from NXT who weren't ready, and now you have them on the main roster. None of them are ready. They're thrown into the lion's den, and they just look like shit. And it's for what? So you can prove that women can do a Royal Rumble too. But
it's harder.
What you have is, am I boring you?
Do I know?
I thought you were yawning.
No, I was just saying. I'm gonna say it's hard because they just feed all these women now to now that all these women are up, they're just getting fed to the 5 good women wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're a girl who isn't at that level, and you're wrestling Charlotte or Sasha Banks, you're gonna look like shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be embarrassing, and you're gonna make them look like shit.
Yeah, and it's just a shit show, and so it's really WWE's fault. Like Paige said, I think there was some story about how Paige said it's not WWE's fault. It's the fans' fault that it took so long for women to get to this level.
Oh yeah, well let's blame it on the fans. Yeah,
that's good. Right when your movie comes out.
Yeah, because wrestling fans hate seeing women that are pretty much naked. So let's blame it on them.
Yeah. So, anyways, congratulations to Bailey and Sasha. I mean, legitimately, I think they're awesome. But
yeah, they're great.
Who knows how these titles are even going to work?
I don't know either. I don't even know. Yeah, I assume they beat Dean Ambrose.
Okay, so also Ronda Rousey won in 5 seconds against Ruby Riot, and then they did Charlotte was there, and they did this really weird segment where Becky wasn't allowed, but she was there in the crowd, and she snuck into the ring on crutches because security wasn't able to stop her, and it was just crazy.
Yeah, somehow, security wasn't able to stop a 5'10" female on crutches from climbing a 4-foot rail. But yeah, she got in the ring, beat the shit out of Charlotte. She did an okay job of selling the knee injury though. Beat up Charlotte with a crutch, and then tossed the other crutch to Ronda. Ronda started to beat her up, and then Becky hit Ronda in the back, beat the shit out of Ronda, and Ronda bled the hard way. The segment was fine. Like I thought it was okay, but the match, I just don't know why why they had to squash Ruby Riott for that. Like why didn't they just have Ronda Rousey and Charlotte come out and do like a super pose down?
Yeah, they should just they should have done a promo.
Yeah, or like a contract signing or fucking whatever. Like you could have just done that and then had Becky show up and beat the shit out of both of them. Anyways, because that was the only reason they had that match was to do that. And they didn't really. There's no reason for. I mean, that match was terrible. Ruby Riott did nothing, and Ronda Rousey just did that thing where she like shot on her, rolled her over, and popped her arm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it because, like we just said, I mean, besides being an interesting fuck, like Ruby Riott she's actually a pretty good wrestler.
Yeah, but no reason to just squash her,
Yeah, there's no reason to put her in that position. What's even crazier is, like, the next night on Raw, they wrestled in like a 12-minute match on Raw.
Yeah, so it's like maybe Ruby Riott wasn't focused and ready, and only lost in 5 seconds.
Or maybe they wanted Ronda on Raw for a while because their ratings are shit. But
yeah, I just don't know why they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing's crazy, but I mean, Becky is like the most over person in the world right now, so it's gonna work.
Yeah, the crowd went ape shit. It took her 30 minutes to get to the ring.
Yeah,
from the first time they showed her. I mean, it was like Iron Sheik walking the ring at the Gimmick Battle Royal in WrestleMania 17. Yeah.
We're going to have to cover that sometime because that Gimmick Battle Royal was incredible.
It was incredible. And Heenan announced it.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, so Usos won the tag titles. They beat Shane and Miz. Again, didn't watch it, but from what I heard, Shane looked super old in this match.
He did. He looked old. It was just good to get Miz and Shane like out of the picture. Let Miz go back to doing his thing by himself, and let Shane go back to the desks in the back. And
I mean, don't you think Miz is so much better as like an asshole than like someone who's trying to be Shane's best friend?
Yeah, Miz had the best year of any wrestler, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And he was like, he's one of the best heels. He's incredible. Like, he's a great heel Intercontinental Champion. Like,
I mean, yeah, I love the Miz, and Shane is one of those guys who, like, once a year at WrestleMania is cool, but every month or every week to watch him wrestle is like, oh my God, like, it's awful.
Yeah, I would rather watch the main event of the Saudi pay-per-view.
Yeah, Shane is basically like him and Undertaker are the same wrestler. Because you only want to watch him once a year, if that.
No. I mean, what do you think will be the main event of the Saudi? Do you think it'll be like Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Ric Flair?
Dude, if Ric Flair wrestled, he'd be dead for sure.
Yeah.
72 years old on Monday or next week sometime.
Yeah.
They're celebrating on Raw with what'll be a terrible segment, I'm sure. But yeah, so the Usos won, which is also interesting because a few days before the match, or sometime last week, which one was it? Was Jimmy, I think. Yeah, Jimmy Uso was arrested in Detroit. He's riding with his wife Naomi. She was going the wrong way on a one-way street in Detroit, and the cops pulled him over and smelled alcohol. Were asking questions, and Jimmy got a little aggressive, took his shirt off, acted like he was gonna fight, and then I guess eventually calmed down. But he was handcuffed and taken to jail, posted bond. He's charged with disorderly conduct and obstruction of justice, which we talked about it a little bit between us, but not super illegal.
No,
just kind of being an asshole,
being an idiot.
Yeah, and I told you, I wonder if she's going the wrong way or they smell alcohol, maybe she had a few drinks and he's covering for her by taking all the attention. I don't know, but I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, the I'm pretty sure the Usos won the titles after he got a DUI in 2013, or they at least got to keep the titles.
Yeah, they both, they got to keep them. I mean, Jack Swagger got that DUI and they buried him.
Yeah, and
after he won Elimination Chamber.
His brother, yeah, Jay Uso's gotten a DUI too. So the Usos are basically unstoppable. And it's probably, I mean, maybe it has something to do with AEW. I don't know. I know Fox News, which is hilarious, reported that Jimmy Uso purposely trying to get fired so he can go to All Elite Wrestling. So he did.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, which is really hilarious because, like, is that the route you would choose to try to get fired?
Yeah, just being a Samoan guy in Detroit, getting out of the car, ripping your shirt off, and screaming at a cop that's what I want to do to lose my job. Maybe risk getting shot.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess right now, especially, you would think the Usos are basically, are untouchable.
Yeah, they're untouchable. I mean, they can do whatever they want.
I know they're one of the people whose contracts are coming up very soon.
Yeah, they're up after Mania. Them and AJ.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the Usos as being that WWE stable, but like you could also look at like they've done everything they could do there. Let's go fight the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers.
Well, they haven't had a feud with the New Day yet, so maybe that'll happen next.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever wrestled the New Day. Oh wait, they wrestled 8,000 times last year. So, yeah. So who knows? We'll see. But there you go. Get drunk, drive wrong, try to fight cops. You're going to be tag team champions of the world.
Yeah. Were those 8,000 times you watched? Were those not counting house shows?
Yeah, that's just televised.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
seemed a little low for house shows.
So one more thing from Elimination Chamber I did want to talk about, which I thought was hilarious. So we're not going to talk about Corbin versus Strowman because I heard it was like god awful. I don't even know how Corbin is still on TV, but
I don't even know. I just know that Strowman, they ganged up on him and he lost.
Didn't they do the Shield powerbomb? Like, why would you do that?
I don't know. I just know that. I don't know that. I mean, what is Braun Strowman doing? Why is he still in WWE?
I don't know. They're buried him bad.
He needs to go anywhere.
He was super over like 6 months ago.
Yeah, he was the biggest. I mean, the only place that he could do worse than he's doing right now is AHW.
Yeah. Yeah, they would shit on him for sure. They'd have Super Puff beat him. But
yeah, if Super Puff's even around anymore, I don't even know where Cheesy Puff is.
He has been booked into oblivion. Strowman has, and yeah. But what I did want to talk about, even though we just talked about what I said we weren't going to talk about, but so Lashley lost the Intercontinental title to Baylor for whatever reason, and then he blames Leo Rush because it was a handicap match for whatever reason. And like, why would you have Lashley, who's the size of 8 Finn Balor's, get an extra person to beat Finn Balor?
I don't know, but Finn Balor just knocked Lashley out of the ring and then beat up Leo Rush and won.
Yeah, which I guess that answered my question. They don't want to have him pin Lashley, so they have him pin Leo Rush. But then he gets mad at Leo Rush, slams him, turns on him, and then on Raw they were tagging again.
Best friends.
Yeah, which is just a crazy shit like that WWE does now. But Finn Balor's your new Intercontinental Champion, so we'll see how long that lasts. I can see that lasting until Mania, actually, because...
Yeah, I could see. I mean, Balor will be a good IC title. He'll be a good Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, it's a good title for him. And hopefully they do one of those like 6-way ladder matches, or what they do with the IC title there.
Yeah, so realistically, in your lifetime, when have you ever liked Bobby Lashley?
I've never liked Bobby. He has zero charisma.
I mean, he is literally the worst. I hate Bobby Lashley. I've never paid attention to Bobby Lashley ever in my
No,
life.
he's massive and he's chiseled like Buck, but he's literally zero. Like he has zero personality. He's
His neck's not as big as Buck's.
no, he whether he's a heel or the face, he does the same thing. So he doesn't have any character to him. He's awful. I don't know
Yeah,
what he's doing. Like they love him though. Vince loves him.
when he talks, it sounds like an auto-tuned queef on repeat.
He is god awful. I don't know, man. I don't know anything that WWE is anymore. I mean, they had the NXT guys on Raw for no reason, and who knows what they're doing. SmackDown's going on right now as we're recording, so who knows what they're doing with them. But just cracked open another water. But yeah, so there you go. There's our WWE recap. Hopefully we filled in all the blanks for you.
Yeah, for those of you who, I guess, watched it or didn't watch it or slept through it.
Yeah.
Or, you think Ben actually didn't sleep through it, huh?
Nah, Ben probably watched it, but I feel like people who watch Elimination Chamber are the kind of people who like put something around their neck and jerk off.
Oh yeah, in the closet
Yeah.
with a strobe light on.
Yeah. So, have fun, Ben.
Yeah.
So AEW, All Elite Wrestling, that has a Vegas show, and they officially sold out in what they're saying is 4 minutes. Which, what was that bump? Your dick hit the floor? Um, so, inside joke, but behind the scenes. So yeah, so they sold out in 4 minutes, which I
No
got tickets.
surprise.
No surprise, but it's kind of confusing, and people are kind of in an uproar about it because. So I got tickets, and thanks to Matt Cole, but it took longer than 4 minutes to get our tickets. But I guess the pre-sale doesn't count. It's the general public sale, and the general public was able to sell out in under 4 minutes. And then that's because the pre-sale was so popular, but the pre-sale had what they're calling, and I don't know how they do the math on it, but 43,000 people tried to buy tickets during the pre-sale. So that doesn't mean 43,000 people logged on. That just means 43,000. Like, let's say everyone who logged on wanted 4 tickets. Like, they do it some kind of math way like that.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that shit because we don't ever have to worry about that because we just get tickets pretty easy.
Yeah, well, they're going to give us press tickets and everything else. But
yeah, you got that email?
Yeah, I talked to him. Okay. I think I talked to Meltzer about it too. But so yeah, we're going to go to Vegas. Should be an awesome show. Already, Jericho versus Omega. Looks like it to be Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. Pac versus Adam Page. A women's match. Should be a pretty awesome show. I know we're gonna kill Vegas.
Yeah, and that's not even because their show is typically going to be about 3 hours long. They did a really good job at Double or Nothing, not going crazy. I mean, who knows who else will be there? The Joey Ryans of the world, that kind of stuff. I'll talk to Joey this weekend and find out when I see him on Saturday. I'm going to be, he's wrestling here in town, and I've been invited to the backstage VIP party afterwards, and I might be announcing that night, announcing the event. So,
well, you've been begging to grab dick for a while, so
yeah.
There actually may be more than Joey Ryan there. So
there actually may be more than Joey Ryan. So, but I'll let you. That'll be big news next week. I also heard Roadkill may be there. I think he might be meeting with the Young Bucks and Cody. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. So,
yeah, we'll talk to him and figure it out. It's interesting though. I mean, obviously very popular. They put more seats on sale today. Somehow they rearranged production to open up a few hundred more seats. So it's definitely sold out. It's definitely a record. It's the biggest wrestling show ever there, and it beat the previous record. I think was 1998 Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they're the hype is real, man. They're doing big things, and we'll see how long it'll last, or if this hype train can keep going. I don't know what their schedule is going to look like over the next year. I know that we received a fake schedule.
Yeah, we did receive a fake schedule, and we know it's fake because of what that certain person said would happen this weekend, and it didn't happen. Can you fill us in on that, Buck?
Yeah, well, somebody who I don't want to name, Andy Ball, was very adamant that he had this insider knowledge, which is, really on a personal level pisses me off because he said he got the information at Quick Trip. We all know what that means to somebody like me and Jamie who have met people at Quick Trip.
Yeah, we have for years and years and years. We have been, meeting and hanging out with wrestlers at Quick Trip, and I just don't know why. I don't know I don't know if he's jealous about the podcast or that we're just so famous right now and he ain't got to be on it, or
And so
I don't
rich.
I don't know what's going on with him. I know he had, twins, and maybe he doesn't have as much money as we do.
Well, I guarantee he doesn't have as much money as we do, but
no, it's probably not even close.
Anyways, he tried to give some bullshit schedule that obviously isn't real. He named like 6 shows. I don't know where he got his information from, but
yeah, he also said Craig Kimbrell would sign with the Braves over the weekend, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, so he really embarrassed himself. Luckily, it was just between friends.
Yeah, luckily it was just between friends. I mean, we don't even really want to name names.
No.
We don't want to talk about what Andy Ball told us.
No, we don't want to put him out there like that because that would be terrible for Andrew Scott Ball to have to deal with on a public level.
Well, I mean, we would never bury our friends in a podcast. Like, we would never say that Andrew Scott Ball is a goddamn lying piece of shit. Like, we'd never say
Not
that.
Publicly. Not publicly.
No, yeah, not. I mean, we would say that in a room with him, but not over a podcast with thousands upon hundreds of thousands of listeners.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to put him out there like that because he's on social media. So
yeah, and he's a good man. He's just everybody has their flaws,
Yep, good man, decent father.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so who knows what the next year looks like for them? But I would like to see them do maybe 3 shows, 4 shows.
Yeah,
obviously, All In 2 in Chicago would be cool.
Yeah, I feel like Double or Nothing is All In too.
Yeah, but officially, like the same weekend in Chicago.
Yeah,
would be a cool.
Well, I mean, it's Double or Nothing. They went all in and they went all in and won, and then they're just doing Double or Nothing. Let's double it, Double or Nothing.
So what do you call the next show? Let It Ride?
I think, yeah, Let It Ride.
Last Ride?
Last Ride? Nobody survives the last ride.
Yeah, but obviously, we wish all the best for them. We're going to be in Vegas hanging out.
Podcast live from Double or Nothing.
Yeah, which actually brings us to our next story. So, along with Double or Nothing in Vegas that weekend, there is a convention in town, and it's Starrcast 2, which me and Jamie were at the first Starrcast. We were able to hang out with Steiner and Bagwell and meet Luger and all kinds of people, Haku, Ming.
Yeah.
Ben slept through it. We all know the story. Ben.
Yeah.
But Starrcast 2 has some huge names announced. We already heard Bret Hart. We already heard Sting. Ric Flair was announced, but also announced was Undertaker, which is huge in so many ways. It's his biggest non-WWE appearance in quite some time, and he took WWE off of his Twitter account, which a lot of people found to be odd or made a big deal about. Um, Jamie is basically in love with Undertaker on a sexual level, so I'll let you comment on this first, and you give your thoughts.
Um, it's a big deal. I mean, he's 2 tables away from, well, his booth will be 2 booths away from where ours will be. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm sure we'll share a lot of fond memories there, you know. I met Undertaker in 2002 at a hot rod show in Chattanooga, and he was sponsoring. He was there with the WWE hot rod. But I mean, a guy like him has been, that was when he's American Badass. So those are the only appearances he's ever done, like outside of an actual WWE event or some sort of like announcement that WWE has. Like he never breaks character. He never shows up in public. Like these public appearances are super rare. And the fact that Starrcast was able to get him, it's a pretty huge deal, I believe, in the wrestling world. It's obviously I think he's, trying to be done wrestling. I don't think he'll be at WrestleMania this year. I think he might be part of the festivities or maybe announced, like maybe he's going in the Hall of Fame or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you
Um,
actually, interesting enough, a lot of people don't know this. When you met Undertaker in 2002, you used the what do you call it, the fried part of a corn dog, the outside of a corn dog, to jerk him off, right? At that fair.
the batter, you
Yeah,
talk about the breading.
yeah. So instead of the hot dog portion, his penis was there, and you actually jerked him off, and you paid to do that.
Well, I mean, I had to get some sort of mayonnaise on my corn dog. um, no, he's a really nice guy. When I met him, I got his autograph. But this is what I'm going to do this year at Starrcast. You know that picture with him and Scott Hall flipping off the camera where they're in mustaches and mullets in the
Yeah,
80s?
that is legit one of the baddest pictures of all time.
I'm going to get Taker to sign it at Starrcast, and then I'm going to get Scott Hall to sign it at whatever the next. He may be at Starrcast too. Who knows?
Yeah, he's already been announced. Him and Nash and X Pac.
Yeah, so I might try to get both of them to sign it. That picture, that'd be incredible, actually.
That would be amazing. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
We're actually not going to have the hookup we had for Starcast last year, but I think we are going to have a booth this year probably for our show. So
We'll have a booth. We'll be podcasting live from Starrcast. We'll see who we can get on it. I mean, the rumor mill's swirling. Roadkill may be there. If Taker's going to be there, odds are Roadkill may be there with him.
have they announced Roadkill for Starcast yet?
No, they haven't. I'll talk to him here soon, but he's pretty quiet about stuff. You know how he is.
That'd be a big get, and they probably don't want to announce that with the Undertaker because they don't want to overshadow each other.
No, they don't, and I think Roadkill may be more of just a show up and surprise. But back to the deal, like getting a character like the Undertaker, a wrestler like that, is huge. I know he's not signing with AEW, and he's not, obviously he's loyal to WWE till he dies, but he is going to start doing stuff like this.
Yeah, and Starrcast is not a part of All Elite Wrestling, so it's a separate thing.
But it's pretty incredible that Starrcast is able to show up. Like All Elite Wrestling holds this event, basically the second event Cody the Young Bucks put on, and they managed to have Undertaker. I mean, I know they didn't call him and get him in there, but they have the Undertaker at that weekend.
Yeah, which is huge. Deal. Yeah, it's a really big deal. It's a really big get, and
what if Joey Ryan got resurrected by penises? What if Undertaker took offense to that? What if, you never know? Who knows?
Yeah, I'd like to see Undertaker get dick flips. I mean, at this point, you couldn't tarnish that career any more than he already has over the last 5 years. So
that's not true at all.
But yeah, it's huge. I mean, Starrcast is big. If that's something you want to attend, obviously, me and Jamie might work it. We're not going to attend it as fans, but yeah, it's really big, and I think he charges like $150. So good luck. Me and Jamie have that to spare, but
Oh yeah, we just made that talking about the Undertaker because of our ad.
yeah, yeah, the ad that for the show made way more. We could meet the Undertaker probably 30, 40 times just off this
Oh,
episode.
easily. I mean, we could probably book him for the podcast.
Yeah, but I don't want to talk to him for an hour. That'd be boring as shit. Um,
Oh man.
so speaking of Hall of Famers like the Undertaker, future Hall of Famers, WWE has officially announced the first inductees for this year. It's not the Hart Foundation as rumored, although they could still be a part of it. But the first official announcement was D Generation X, which includes Shawn Michaels, who's already in the Hall of Fame, Triple H, who, I mean,
He will be.
given his status, I don't know if he'll ever put himself in, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
X Pac, you can make the argument, Hall of Famer. But this is probably the only way he'll get in. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, they're going to get in. And China is an interesting one because she is someone who obviously deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but due to her post WWE lifestyle,
I mean,
will
it was
not get.
only one night.
It wasn't one night, but she obviously deserves it. But this is probably their way to sneak her in and kind of be done with that chapter.
Yeah. Do you think they were going to announce the Hart Foundation and then Triple H was like, no, we're going to do DX because I want Shawn Michaels to be a 2-time Hall of Famer before Bret Hart is.
Yeah, they just called Bret Hart and told him that DX was going in.
Yeah, they just were like, and then somebody's going to screw Bret screwed Bret again, or
Yeah, I hope they flew and met Bret Hart in Montreal and
on the
thought,
DX jet.
yeah, and thought that they were going to tell him that he's going to the Hall of Fame, and then swerved and said D Generation X was going to the Hall of Fame.
We just wanted to let you know we're going to announce D Generation X in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but I mean, so DX, one of the best stables of all time. Interesting enough, my favorite DX was when it was just Shawn Michaels and Triple H with Rick Rude, which they didn't even mention Rick Rude here.
Yeah, which is I like that too. I actually liked it too when Triple H took over.
Yeah, which was everyone else besides Shawn Michaels. It was post Shawn Michaels.
It was post Shawn Michaels. Like that when he took over and X Pac showed back up. Like
the Raw after 14.
Yeah.
A classic segment. But I mean, DX is Hall of Fame worthy, but I think this is more about getting China in without all of the focus being on China or about China.
Yeah, I read where China's mom was really excited about that,
and it's also a way to get X Pac in without putting X Pac in. Road Dogg is a big part of the company. I'm sure he wants to be in.
I mean, those guys deserve it. They played their roles. They were earners. I mean, they drew money. They drew top money during the Attitude Era, coming out, and then especially they invaded WCW. Like they are some of the front runners of the Monday Night Wars. So
yeah, they're hugely popular, and not only that, when I talk to people now, and people find out how big I am into wrestling, one of the things I hear more than anything, people will say, "Oh, I used to watch wrestling," like suck it, and they'll start doing the crotch chop.
Yep,
and everybody knows that.
Literally, DX was part of a transition everybody watched wrestling during the Attitude Era. Everybody tuned in. Children, teenagers, college students, 30-year-olds, 40-year-old men, everybody except for Bruno Sammartino. He hated the D-Generation X because he believes in Jesus, but but everybody watched wrestling. Like when you talk to anyone about all everybody says is, yeah, I used to watch wrestling, and all they talk about Stone Cold Stunner, Rock Bottom, Suck It, and NWO.
Yeah, everyone knows it, and they were unbelievable. And if you go back on the network, I'm sure they'll have, especially when the Hall of Fame's coming up, a lot of their segments and stuff. But the stuff that Shawn Michaels and Triple H did with Sergeant Slaughter is some of the best segments you'll watch.
Ever. And how Sergeant Slaughter didn't beat the shit out of him in real life, I'll never know. I mean, Bruce Pritchard talks about in his podcast how nobody noticed. So the Undertaker wasn't there that night, and Shawn Michaels came out and called him out, and he did it without asking, but he also stuffed socks down his in his tights without asking anyone, and he had him in his tights in gorilla position. Bruce Pritchard talks about how nobody noticed at all. And he went out there, and then everybody was like,
Yeah,
what?
well, he also said that Vince wasn't there that night, and
yeah, Vince was gone.
Jim Ross was in charge, and Jim Ross was furious because they basically were like, we can do whatever the fuck we want, which at the time Shawn Michaels could and did, but
yeah, he had Shawn Michaels had fuck you money, kind of like what we have now.
Shawn Michaels had fuck you talent back then, and
yeah,
it was DX is awesome. So congratulations to them. Really, congratulations to China, who had a lot of problems with her life, but definitely one of the best, if not the best, female wrestler of all time.
Yeah, she was incredible, and she also, a lot of people don't realize, like, she transcended that position. Coming out of the crowd and shaking Marlena, and she transcended that into, like, you wouldn't have your Victorias or your Ivories or, Trish Stratus lead it. Like, all those people, all those women come right up after China. Like, and she also, she beat Jeff Jarrett for the Intercontinental title. Like, she's a female Intercontinental champion.
Yeah, which is crazy. And
that is like, that's how.
In the Attitude Era, when it was all about bra and panty matches and stuff, she was a badass chick who could fight. So you could kind of say she's the forefront of the women's evolution in a way.
She was the forefront. Like, you have all these, you have your Trish Stratus's, you have all this stuff, but those, without China stepping in and doing that, like, I don't know if the women's division gets that type of push that Trish and Lita and those ladies needed to go into the 2000s.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, congratulations. We'll see what the rest of the class looks like. The Hall of Fame is kind of not legitimate at this point. It's just whoever they want to throw in or whoever Vince feels like at the time. But they all deserve it. And this may be the only way Triple H goes in, because he basically runs a company, and he may not do that, put himself in singularly. So it may be the only way he gets in too. So it's cool to see him. Triple H is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, he's incredible. So that being said, do you think, so they're not going to induct Vince until he dies, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
They won't induct him until he dies. But looking at the stables and looking at, everything that happened in the Attitude Era, and, looking at DX, do you see Nation of Domination as a Hall of Fame stable?
Whew. I mean, there's stables I would put in over Nation Domination.
Yeah.
I would put in, I would put in NWO, Hogan, Hall, and Nash.
Didn't they already do that?
Not together.
Oh, they put in Outsiders, huh?
No, they each got their separate thing. And they put in Diesel and Razor Ramon. They didn't put in Nash and Hall.
Okay. I couldn't remember. So that being said, do you think, since they snuck China in, the next move is to induct the New Radicals, try to get Benoit in there?
Well, I know that's something that me and you hope for. but it's
Yeah.
probably not a popular choice. I don't know if they'll ever touch that. That would definitely bring negative press, especially with how sensitive everybody is now.
Yeah.
But Benoit is for sure a Hall of Famer.
He is. It's a shame that, we don't need to get into anything, but he made his mark on wrestling. He definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and that
The Hall of Fame is not about character flaws. He had a minor character flaw.
a minor character flaw, and the that's a good way to put it. But the radicals were, if you look at Benoit, Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn, were all incredible workers who all
They were great.
Yeah, they all deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. We actually met Saturn at Quick Trip, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And
who told us real information and was friends of ours. We don't lie about our Quick Trip stories.
Yeah, we didn't make that up. That really happened.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, so there's stables who deserve to go in. Man,
I mean, just think about the Attitude Era stables. You have the Oddities, you have Right to Censor, you have Nation. I mean,
Los Barricas, DOA,
Disciples of Apocalypse. I was a DOA fan.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I mean, Crush is a Hall of Famer for sure. Is he already in? I don't know if he's already in.
I don't know if he's in or not. But the only DOA and Los Barricas are the only teams to fight each other more than the Usos and New Day.
Yeah, they fought all the time, and you couldn't even name those Barricas if you
couldn't. You can just say names like Miguel, and you're probably right.
I think one of them is Miguel, but Savio Vega obviously was incredible.
Savio Vegavis.
Yeah, and I mean, there's stables that deserve to go in. There's going to be ones that go in way before everybody else. I mean, one of the best stables of all time is the Hart Foundation.
Yeah, the 97 Hart Foundation.
Yeah, which they can't do because of the Owen Hart situation. But, I mean, Owen Hart, Hall of Famer for sure. Pillman, Hall of Famer for sure. Bret Hart, Neidhart. And, you're talking about guys like Ric Flair when he went in with the Horsemen, and Shawn Michaels is going to go in, and Bret Hart. Those are guys who deserve 2 Hall of Fame rings, really. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. I mean, we should definitely induct a Ministry in so Taker can be a 2-time, because we all know that Vidius Godwin is a Hall of Famer. Midian, a.k.a. Midian.
Yeah, that's a great stable.
Viscera, Big Daddy V. We wouldn't have Big Daddy V if it wasn't for the Ministry.
Yeah, that was one of the worst stables of all time. But yeah, there's stables that deserve it. But DX is definitely up there. They're a top 5 stable of all time for sure.
Definitely. So if you were to pick a guy, like I'll put you on the spot here, which you're incredible being on the spot. Probably answer this really quick. But pick one guy you'd like to see in the Hall of Fame this year, besides obviously anybody we just talked about, somebody that you think just deserves it.
Rick Rude.
Yep.
It's crazy to me that, and they could have included him in this. He was a big part of DX, but he is also one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and one of the best workers of all time in multiple federations, WWF, WCW. He's in World Class for a while.
Yeah.
He was one of the best wrestlers of all time, one of the best promos of all time, one of the best mustaches of all time.
Great hairdo, great trunks.
Yeah. He's somebody I for sure want to see in there. I'd love to see Pillman. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I really would like to see Pillman go in.
Yeah, off the top of my head, that's who I can think of right now.
Is Lex Luger a Hall of Famer?
I don't think he's in yet, but he is.
I don't think he's in. I believe that as far as wrestling goes, I think he made his mark. I would like to see Luger get in.
I mean, he's somebody who had an unbelievable career, but he's not really a Hall of Fame wrestler.
No, he was never a great wrestler.
Definitely not a Hall of Fame promo.
he was ever great at anything, but he was just incredible.
Yeah. He's
So,
always a top guy. And I'll tell you right now, I go back and I watch those old nitros, and when he torture racked people, and people in the crowd were torture racking each other and
yeah.
just going complete ape shit.
Yeah, it was like he was as over as Goldberg. Like he was as over as anybody in the company for those couple years. NWO, like everything that he did, especially when NWO first came out and he was fighting WCW, and he was in WCW. He used to come out and just torture rack everybody. I mean, one of my favorite tag teams of all time is Allied Powers.
Oh
Lex
yeah.
Luger, British Bulldog, and they never won the title somehow. I don't know why. I thought they were going to win every title in the WWF. When they first came out, I thought for sure Luger was going to be champion, Bulldog was going to be Intercontinental champion, they were going to be tag team champions.
Yeah. I mean, there's guys who deserved to go in a long time ago who, for whatever political reason, aren't in. But like, right off the top of my mind, it's Rick Rude, Owen Hart. I don't know why Brian Pillman isn't in yet. You look at someone like Sid. Sid could go
Sid's
in,
incredible,
but everyone hates Sid. He's got a softball tournament that weekend, probably, anyways.
Yeah, I just listened to the podcast. Bruce Pritchard shoot on Sid for a couple hours. I love Sid Vicious. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Sid he's just hilarious and unbelievable.
Yeah, his promos were terrible but hilarious.
Unbelievable. I watched the one the other day where he called me and Gene a fat ball-headed oaf. There was one I watched where he was the maddest guy. He was the maddest guy ever, and he was screaming at Big Boss Man. He called him Fatso, and it was hilarious. He goes, "Listen up, Fatso." He just screamed at him. But his intensity, oh my God, he was so intense. Like he might be one of the most intense wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, Sid was amazing,
and he just screamed powerbomb and just powerbomb people.
Yeah, and the Crybaby promo with Bret Hart.
Yeah, you don't know shit, Crybaby.
Yeah. I mean, God,
yes,
just imagine a Sid Justice, Psycho Sid Hall of Fame speech.
It would be unbelievable.
Yeah, it might be Hillbilly Jim's.
Yeah. Or Mr. T's.
Yeah, but congratulations to DX. Well deserved, all those guys. Okay, so since we just got paid from our sponsor, that means it's time for us to go. I think we went a little long today anyways, but before we wrap up, just real quick, a couple small news notes we want to cover. Eddie Edwards has signed a new long-term deal with Impact, which is interesting to me because not a lot of people are signing with Impact. You know, you hear a lot of WWE signings and All Elite and New Japan ROH, but this is the first kind of big Impact signing we've heard about in a while. So Eddie Edwards, a long-term deal, says he's going to be with Impact through it all.
Yeah, it may not be a bad move for him. I mean, this year is going to kind of shake up a lot of companies, a lot of federations, and maybe he sticks it out with Impact. They sell to WWE, he goes in NXT, or maybe he just becomes the guy in Impact. You know,
I think he's going to become the guy at Impact, and maybe it is a good move for him because he had a lot of hype a few years ago, but I think that's kind of died down with him being an Impact. But so for him to get paid, I know I heard Jericho in an interview talk about how he got a big money offer from Impact. So they have money to spend if they want to spend it on people, and it's probably a good move for him. I'm sure he got paid. So congratulations to him. Also, in gossip news, I know some of you like to watch Total Bellas and all that kind of shit. Corey Graves was in the news this week because he has finalized his divorce, and his wife kind of went crazy on the social media, putting his alcoholism and said that he had suicide attempts and kind of put all his all his business in the streets.
Yeah.
And said, I hope you're very happy with Carmella, which I I don't know if anyone knew that they were together, or if it's true that they're together, or if that's why he's not married anymore, or what the deal is there. I know he puts over Carmelo big time on TV.
He does.
But so there's your gossip news for the week, Matt Cole.
Yeah, I don't really care about, People Magazine or wrestling like that. I don't know. His wife, Corey, never said shit about her. She's coming out and saying a bunch of shit about him. She's probably full of shit. There's no hashtags involved.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, I guess I'm just a different kind of person, but no matter what happens in any situation, I can imagine freaking out on social media about somebody. But
yeah, I couldn't. I don't think the maddest I've ever got on social media. The only time I've ever ranted on social media is when somebody didn't know what Skynet was, and when baseball didn't elect anyone to Hall of Fame that one year.
Yeah, so nothing. If you broke up with a girl, you're not putting her on blast.
No, no, I wouldn't even. I mean, the only time I ever even get on social media is when I'm hammered and I post either a wrestling video or a Stallone montage or a song from a Stallone movie.
Yeah, which is some of the best songs of all time. But yeah, I couldn't imagine being in that position. But I don't know. People love to do it. Not for me.
It's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed if you ever get on social media and talk shit about, your wife or girlfriend or I don't know. I would just never do that. I mean, you can get on mine. I just found a 10-hour loop on YouTube of the Terminator 2 theme song that I can post on your social media. So if you're driving somewhere, it's going to take you 10 hours to get there. You can listen to the Terminator 2 theme song the entire way there.
Terminator 2, maybe the greatest action movie of all time.
It is the greatest action movie of all time. I know Matt Cole, he probably compares it. I think he probably compares it a lot to the movie Christine, where the car eats the guy. And this is a Stephen King book, and Christine's coming. It's a car that eats people. So and in Terminator, robots kill people. So maybe Maximum Overdrive. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Matt Cole has the worst taste in movies I've ever seen, and he only goes by Rotten Tomatoes, which gave the new Page movie a 93% approval.
Yeah.
There's no way that movie's that good. So, I don't know who bases their shit off of that, but his name is Matt Cole.
Yeah.
And he probably does hate Terminator 2 and thinks it's the same as some movie that just came out.
Yeah, he maybe thinks it's the same as Batteries Not Included. When the little flying saucers fly around. Yeah, which does have Eclipse. Batteries Not Included does have Eclipse, a.k.a. Frank McRae from Lockup.
Yeah, who was also in The Wizard, which is
he was in The Wizard.
Probably the best Fred Savage movie ever made.
And he was Schwarzenegger's boss in Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone who knows more about movies than us, but we just literally, that was the top of our head. We just named all this shit.
Yeah, Frank McRae. Matt Cole doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah, we're going to be covering a movie soon, so.
Yeah.
But we're going to wrap it up for today. Please check out our Instagram, Twitter. Jamie, you got a status on that Facebook page?
Yeah, it's coming soon. A couple days.
Yeah, to be announced. But we're also up on YouTube. I right now only have episode 1 on YouTube, so falling behind on that. But we're gonna fix that problem. And Anchor.fm is our main website. We're on Spotify, iTunes, you name it. Tell your friends so we can get even more money, and maybe get some merch out there. I know people are wanting the merch.
Yeah, a lot of merch requests. So
keep doing it. We name dropped a lot of people. So if we name dropped you today and put your name out there in the nicest way possible, I know we did. Help us out and help us spread the word.
Yep.
All right, that's it. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.